Every Christmas season, when Home Alone lights up the screen once more, audiences don't just laugh at Kevin's mischievous antics. They also remember the faces who created the magic of the film. But behind the spotlight are stories filled with ups and downs, from career highs to deeply personal struggles of the actors who have since passed away. Who were they? What did they go through to leave us with the laughter we still cherish today? Let's find out. John Hurd as Peter McAllister. John Hurd, born March 7, 1946, captured the hearts of audiences with his role as Peter McAllister, the wealthy but forgetful father in Home Alone who accidentally leaves his son Kevin behind during a trip to Paris. In 1990, at age 44, Hurd brought to life a Peter who was both lovable and relatable, a father anyone might recognize from real life, with a warm smile amidst the chaos of family life. But Hurd's journey didn't end with that fatherly role. He was a multi-talented actor with over 170 roles spanning film, television, and stage, from Tom Hanks's romantic rival in Big, 1988, to the haunted doctor in Awakenings, 1990. The pinnacle of his career came with an Emmy nomination for his role as Vin Makowski in The Sopranos, where he showed the depth of a performer unafraid of challenge. But that spotlight came with shadows. In the 1980s, Hurd struggled with alcohol and cocaine addiction, a storm that swept away major opportunities and pushed him into deep depression. His first marriage, to actress Margot Kidder in 1979, lasted only 6 days, leaving behind the first of many scars. With actress Melissa Leo, he had a son, John Matthew, but their relationship became embroiled in legal battles, including assault charges in 1991 and a trespassing accusation in 1997. 2 later marriages, to Sharon Hurd, mother of his 2 children Annika and Max, and Lana Pritchard, also ended in separation, the first in the mid-1990s and the latter just 7 months after their 2010 wedding. The death of his son Max in 2016 at age 22 was a devastating blow that caused Hurd to withdraw further. He sought refuge on the stage, turning down roles done just for money and instead pursuing his passion projects, like the lead role in Cutter's Way, a film he always held close. But his health was worn down by hereditary heart disease and a stressful lifestyle. A toxicology report revealed that Hurd had taken several opioids, including tramadol and fentanyl, along with Xanax before his death, likely to manage pain following minor back surgery at Stanford Hospital. Though the surgery wasn't related, he died suddenly of cardiac arrest due to atherosclerotic and hypertensive heart disease on July 21, 2017, in a Palo Alto hotel. A dose of Narcan was administered when hotel staff found him, but it was too late. Hurd was laid to rest at Southside Cemetery in Ipswich, Massachusetts, leaving behind a luminous career and a life that, like the stage lights he cherished, flickered with both brilliance and sorrow. Marian Seldes as Mrs. Hess. Marian Seldes, born August 23, 1928, was a sharp gust of presence in Home Alone 3, portraying Mrs. Hess, the grouchy neighbor with piercing eyes and a commanding voice. In 1997, at 69 years old, she delivered a small yet unforgettable performance, unwittingly taking home a shopping bag containing a secret microchip, a charming twist in the film. But Seldes was far from a fleeting screen presence. She was the queen of Broadway, inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame, and a Tony Award winner in 1967 for A Delicate Balance, where she showcased her rare transformative talent. From August Rush, 2007, to Tom and Viv, 1994, she embodied characters with remarkable depth, painting life stories with every glance. Yet the path of the stage was not always paved in gold. When Broadway declined in the 1970s, Seldes took on small television roles to make ends meet, a decision that at times left her questioning whether she had lost her artistic flame. Her personal life was a mix of tears and illumination. Her first marriage to Julian Clayman, father of her daughter Catherine, was a nightmare of domestic violence, leaving marks on her face until her own father intervened, leading to a divorce in 1961. Seldes once said she didn't understand who she was during those years, like a stranger in her own life. But light returned when she met playwright Garson Kanin in 1957. They married and lived a childless but deeply harmonious love story, co-creating and sharing a passion for the arts. When Kanin died in 1999, Seldes fell into an unfillable void, as if the stage lights had gone dark. In her final years, Alzheimer's disease stole her memories, a tragedy poignantly captured in Rick Rogers' documentary Marian, which shocked viewers with the image of a great artist slipping into the shadows. Yet even through illness, Seldes's regal spirit endured, like a play that never closes its curtain. She died on October 6, 2014, at age 86, leaving behind an immortal theatrical legacy and a memorable spark in Home Alone 3. Roberts Blossom as Old Man Marley. Roberts Blossom, born March 25, 1924, was the gentle soul of Home Alone, portraying Old Man Marley. The neighbor whispered about as frightening but ultimately revealed to have a heart of gold. He moved audiences to tears with his reconciliation with his estranged son. In 1990, at 66, Blossom used his deep, soulful eyes and warm voice to create a character who seemed lifted from the pages of a fairy tale. But he was far more than Marley. Blossom was a multifaceted artist, an actor, and a poet. He stood out in Escape from Alcatraz, 1979, as Doc, and sent chills in Deranged, 1974. His poetry collection, The Old Man, was lauded by critics, offering a whisper into the hidden chambers of the soul. His artistic path, however, was filled with trials. In the 1960s, Blossom stepped away from acting to immerse himself in poetry, a decision that brought financial pressure and loneliness. His first marriage, to Beverly Schmidt Blossom, the mother of his son Michael, ended in separation, leaving emotional gaps. His second marriage, to Marilyn Orshan Blossom, mother of his daughter Deborah, was a peaceful harbor, but her death in 1982 led him to become increasingly private, rarely discussing his family. Acting became his emotional outlet, though major roles often eluded him, and he led a modest life. After retiring in the late 1990s, Blossom moved to Berkeley, then Santa Monica, continuing to write poetry as a way to converse with his inner self. His health declined due to cerebrovascular disease, and his final years in a nursing home were challenging. He passed away on July 8, 2011, at the age of 87, leaving behind a performance that warmed countless hearts and a body of poetry filled with gentle but enduring echoes. Bill Irwin as Ed. Bill Irwin, born December 2, 1914, was a subtle yet delightful part of Home Alone, playing Ed, the calm husband beside Irene during the chaotic airport scene, offering a kind smile like a warm cup of cocoa in winter. In 1990, at age 76, he created a brief but smile-inducing moment, like a real-life grandfather. Irwin's career was an epic that stretched nearly 7 decades, with over 250 roles, from the porter in Somewhere in Time, 1980, to the grumpy old man Sid Fields in Seinfeld, which earned him an Emmy nomination in 1993. From his early days on Texas stages, he dreamed of Hollywood, but it was no easy path. In his early years, he voiced commercials and took supporting roles to support his family, each part a patient step along the long road. His marriage to actress Fran McLaughlin Irwin in 1948 was the flame that warmed his life. They had 4 children, and Fran was his partner through every challenge. When she died in 1995, Irwin felt as though half his soul had vanished. He became more reserved, but continued acting, as if to honor their love. His health gradually declined with age. heart disease and high blood pressure forcing him to slow down. His net worth, around $1 million, allowed a comfortable life in Studio City, near where Seinfeld was filmed, though medical expenses steadily chipped away at it. Still, Irwin kept his optimistic smile, often reminiscing about his golden days with his son, Mike. He died of natural causes on December 29, 2010, at the age of 96, leaving behind a respected career and a sweet, unforgettable moment in Home Alone. Eddie Bracken as Mr. Duncan. Eddie Bracken, born February 7, 1915, played Mr. Duncan in Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, the owner of Duncan's toy chest, who brought the magic of Christmas to life with a radiant smile like Santa Claus himself. In 1992, at age 77, he created a warm-hearted character that made audiences dream of kindness in the cold heart of New York City. Bracken was a comedy star of Hollywood's golden age, celebrated by director Preston Sturges in Hail the Conquering Hero, 1944, and The Miracle of Morgan's Creek, 1944, where he portrayed bumbling yet endearing comic book-style heroes. But when Hollywood changed in the 1950s, the spotlight faded, and Bracken shifted to Broadway, where he earned thunderous applause. The pressure of providing for his family weighed heavily, but his love for Connie Nickerson, whom he met in the play What a Life in 1938, lifted him through it all. They married in 1939, had 5 children, Michael, David, Judy, Carolyn, and Susan, and lived a 63-year love story. Connie was Bracken's light, but when she passed away in August 2002, it was as if part of his soul went with her. Just 3 months later, a failed cervical disc surgery led to a severe infection, dragging him into his final painful days. Despite illness, Bracken still recounted his glory days to friends, his smile never fading. He passed away on November 14, 2002, at the age of 87, leaving behind a legacy of humor and a role that lit up Christmas. Billy Bird as Irene. Billy Bird, born February 28, 1908, played Irene in Home Alone, the sharp-tongued woman with a mischievous gaze who refused every offer from Kate McAllister in the chaotic airport scene. In 1990, at age 82, she delivered a humorous moment like a glass of vintage wine, rich, bold, and unforgettable. Bird's life was an adventure novel, beginning at age 8 when she was discovered at an orphanage in Pocatello, Idaho. From vaudeville stages, where she performed energetic dance numbers with her husband Edwin Seldes, to the screen in 16 Candles, 1984, Dennis the Menace, 1993, and as Margie in Dear John, 1888 to 1992, Bird lived fully for her art. But as vaudeville declined, she took small TV roles to support her 3 children after losing Edwin and one of their sons in the 1960s. Those losses cut deep, but Bird turned pain into drive, throwing herself into her work like a never-ending dance. Her marriage to Edwin had been the warmth of her early years, and even after his passing, she carried the spirit of vaudeville in every performance. In her later years, Alzheimer's stole her memories like fading stage lights, leaving behind an artist who once burned bright, now receding into shadow. With a net worth of about $1.5 million, she lived comfortably in Los Angeles, though medical costs slowly diminished her savings. She died on November 27, 2002, at age 94, leaving behind a rich legacy and a memorable moment in Home Alone. John Candy as Gus Polinski. John Candy, born October 31, 1950, was the comedic heart of Home Alone, portraying Gus Polinski, the polka king of the Midwest, who helped Kate McAllister get back to Kevin in a journey full of laughter. In 1990, at age 40, he improvised a performance that had the entire crew cracking up. From funeral parlor stories to charming jokes, even though he was paid just $414, a figure that left him bitter toward Fox. Candy was the brightest comedy star of the 1980s, with Uncle Buck, 1989, Splash, 1984, and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, 1987, where he brought irresistible warmth and humor. But that stardom came at a price. Candy struggled with cigarette addiction, smoking a pack a day, along with alcohol and cocaine use, habits that masked his anxiety and panic attacks, which he spoke about openly. His marriage to Rosemary Hobor since 1979 was his safe harbor, where he was a loving father to 2 children. But his demanding filming schedule left him guilt-ridden about time spent away from family. Though he lost 100 pounds to film Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, obesity, and a family history of heart disease, his father died young from a heart attack, were constant threats. Candy once dreamed of becoming a football player, but a high school knee injury steered him toward acting, a fate he embraced wholeheartedly. With a net worth of $15 million, he lived comfortably, though medical expenses and his lifestyle made saving difficult. While filming Wagons East in Mexico, Candy died of a heart attack in his sleep on March 4, 1994, at just 43 years old. His death, like a star that burned too brightly, left an irreplaceable void and a comedic legacy that lives on forever. Clark Devereaux as police officer. Clark Devereaux, born May 18, 1931, appeared briefly in Home Alone as a stern-faced police officer checking on Kevin amidst the bustling McAllister household, a small but authentic brushstroke in the Christmas picture. At 59, Clark, known as Sarge from his spirited days in Chicago, wasn't just playing a cop. He carried the heart of a father because his son-in-law, director Chris Columbus, was behind the camera, turning that moment into a family memory. His career wasn't marked by glitzy Hollywood posters, but by long nights on Chicago stages. He appeared in The Untouchables, 1987, Bicentennial Man, 1999, and Adventures in Babysitting, 1987, but film fame was fleeting. As a playwright, Clark created his own stories, though big dreams were often held back by harsh reality. To provide for his 7 children, he taught drama in local schools, turning each classroom into a miniature stage where he passed on his passion to students. His marriage to Patricia McGowan, which began on October 13, 1956, was a bright light through life's storms. They met in their youth in Chicago and built a love story that blossomed over 6 decades, raising 7 children, including Monica Devereaux, mother of 4 grandchildren Clark adored. Patricia was his partner through every weary rehearsal, and their Chicago home overflowed with laughter. But fate doesn't smile forever. In the late 2010s, lung cancer struck, a dark cloud over a man once tough as Sarge. Despite the pain, he kept smiling, sitting beside Patricia and their children, sharing memories of the stage and the moment he walked into the McAllister house. Clark Devereaux passed away on November 20, 2021 in Chicago at the age of 90, leaving behind a small but warm legacy, like a Christmas tale that never fades from the hearts of those who loved him. Ralph Foody as Johnny. Ralph Foody, born November 13, 1928, was Johnny, the gangster in the fictional film Angels with Filthy Souls from Home Alone and Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, delivering the iconic line, "Keep the change, you filthy animal," that echoed through generations. In 1990, at age 62, he gave a performance bursting with energy, like a fire igniting within the black and white frame. Foody was a true son of Chicago, where he lived and breathed in small roles from The Blues Brothers, 1980, to Curly Sue, 1991. The role of Johnny was fate, after a knee replacement surgery forced him to switch roles from Snakes to Johnny, making him a pop culture icon. But Foody's path wasn't paved with roses. Leading roles were rare, and he had to do voiceovers and minor parts to get by, every role a small battle. His longtime marriage, with the mother of his 2 children, was his steady anchor, though Foody kept his family life private, a mystery known only to him. When colon cancer was diagnosed in the mid-1990s, his health declined, and the cost of treatment made life harder in Lexington, Kentucky. After stepping away from acting post-Home Alone 2, he lived quietly. But the story of Johnny remained a point of pride he shared with friends. He died on November 21, 1999, at age 71, leaving behind a classic line and a small yet blazing legacy, like a shooting star across a Christmas night. Fred Krauss as Cliff. Fred J. Fritz Krauss, born May 6, 1923, in Connellsville, Pennsylvania, played Cliff, the stern yet humorous security guard in Home Alone 2. Lost in New York, delivering a memorable moment at the Plaza Hotel in 1992 when he was 69. Acting was only a small brushstroke in his life. Krauss was a World War II veteran awarded the Purple Heart, who brought home resilience from the battlefield to build a simple life. Krauss's life was a love song that spanned 72 years with Audrey Elaine Rittenauer, whom he married in 1943. Together they raised a large family with 8 children, 4 sons, Tim Allen, Larry, Wayne, and Scott, and 4 daughters, Linda, Carol, Nancy, and Kathy, along with 11 grandchildren. Audrey, known for her cooking and hospitality, was the hearth that warmed their Connellsville home, where Krauss always returned after busy days. But family happiness mingled with sorrow. Their eldest son, Tim, passed away before him, a loss that made Krauss and Audrey cherish every moment with their grandchildren. He never sought fame or fortune through Hollywood. His role in Home Alone 2 was a happy accident, perhaps a gift from fate to an old soldier who loved the arts. But his health declined with age, and he died on June 23, 2015, at 92, surrounded by loved ones in his hometown of Connellsville. Just 7 months later, Audrey passed too, as if they couldn't be apart for long. With 11 grandchildren and a proud military legacy, Krauss left behind a story of courage, enduring love, and one small but shining moment in Home Alone 2. Mario Toddiscoco as cab driver. Mario Toddiscoco, born October 8, 1949, made a brief appearance in Home Alone 2. Lost in New York as the cab driver who takes Kevin through the bustling streets of New York in 1992 when he was 43. With a deep voice and natural demeanor, he delivered a small yet vivid moment, like a realistic brushstroke in a Christmas portrait. On camera, Toddiscoco was a background actor with roles in Leon, The Professional, 1994, and Out for Justice, 1990. But his true stage was the professional wrestling ring, where he once roared with strength and personality. Wrestling forged a resilient Toddiscoco, but also left him with accumulated injuries, steering him toward acting in an unexpected twist of fate. As the father of actor Jerry Toddiscoco, he passed down a passion for the arts to his son, though his family life held its own blend of joys and quiet sorrows. Toddiscoco's health declined as he fought cancer, a silent yet brutal battle that wore down his body. Despite illness, the spirit of a fighter still burned within him, just like in his wrestling days. Mario Toddiscoco passed away on June 18, 1996, in Queens, New York, at the age of 46, leaving behind a small legacy that stretched from the ring to the screen, and a fleeting taxi moment etched in the Christmas memories of many. From John Hurd with his life's deep scars to John Candy with his radiant smile, these actors didn't just make Home Alone, they carved their names into the hearts of audiences. They lived, they loved, they struggled, and though the stage lights have dimmed, their stories still shine bright, like the Christmas lights that never burn out. Which story surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more surprising stories. See you next time.